So to pick up where we left off, I was getting pulled over by the German police. Hi, I don't speak German.
No problem.
Sorry.
We are very interested in your bicycle.
Ah, okay.
We never have seen it.
Quite
Where
cool.
are you from?
England.
And you drove to?
Yep, I'm on day 4 at the moment, and I'm traveling from Amsterdam, where I kind of semi-started the journey, all the way to Turkey.
Oh,
So I've got a long way ahead of me.
Turkey.
Yep. And then I want to attempt around the world as well, but China, their borders are closed at the moment, so Turkey is more achievable. I'll get to Turkey and then wait till the spring and maybe Cyprus or somewhere, and reevaluate in the spring if I can get through Asia or not. And I'd love to go around the world.
How many kilometers do you take per day?
At the moment I'm doing about miles. I aim for 40 miles a day, which is maybe 55, 60 kilometers a day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And is it allowed to take a picture from you?
Yeah, go for it.
Say? And I want to see you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And can you go on it and drive in my direction? So schnell komm ich gar nicht rum. Stark. Echt gut. Okay, good luck.
Okay,
Thank you.
have a nice time.
Yeah.
You too. Bye. And with my worries of being arrested set aside, I set off again. My next destination, Wuppertal, where I was planning to meet another tallbiker who would accompany me for a few days. On the way towards Wesel, I had to cross the Rhine River again, keep following Eurovelo 15. Most days consisted of switching sides at least a couple of times. That afternoon, I met Joachim. His Tallbike had a hub motor in the front wheel, powered by a large sub-cargo battery, which allowed him to cover more than 100 kilometers on a single charge. So naturally, I used this opportunity to lighten my load for the day and let him carry a few of my bags before getting back en route. The way to Wuppertal was quite hilly, as I was making a diversion from the Rhine for 3 days to see this interesting city and attend the critical mass happening that Friday. There were other small rivers we were able to follow, keeping us off main roads and back onto cycle paths, which weren't exactly designed with tallbiking in mind.
don't brake, you will reach 50 kilometers per hour.
A few moments later.
And after 2 days of riding, we had finally arrived in Wuppertal. Wuppertal is well renowned for its Schwebebahn, which is the suspension monorail which resembles an upside-down train. Of course, I had to have a go, so we left our bikes at the train station and took a full circuit of the city. We then headed to the Critical Mass, which was one of the main reasons I made the detour. Wuppertal Critical Mass was celebrating its 10th anniversary, and the turnout was supposed to be big. We even had 3 other Tallbikers. We ended up totaling more than 250 riders, cycling a loop around the city for 35 kilometers and into the night. But now it was time to say my goodbyes again and get back on the road. So I'm here on the Rhine, and as you can see, I think I'm going to have to take a bit of a detour. Day 10 began in Koblenz, having been kindly hosted by a very enthusiastic Ferdinand, who was delighted to see such a contraption of a bike travelling across Europe. used the campsite for the first time and set up my tent. Every other day I had been using Warm Showers, a free community hosting platform, or I was invited by strangers. I had completed about 85 kilometers that day, and it still wasn't dark, so I headed to the shore of the Rhine and decided to send up the drone again. The next morning, I packed up camp and headed off early, as I was aiming to make it to Mannheim within 2 days, which was over 150 kilometers. Of course, there was always time for fooling around though. The weather was beginning to warm up now as I headed south, so I was drinking at least 5 liters a day and taking plenty of rest to shelter from the sun. I arrived in Mannheim after 2 days and took my second day off to explore the city a little, before making my way towards River Rhine, a small town on the edge of the French border. The sunset that evening was stunning, and tomorrow was going to be a big day. I would be crossing into my 4th country of the tour, France. But to see that, you'll have to wait until next time. In the next episode of this series, I'll cross into France, back into Germany, and begin my loop of Switzerland. If you're enjoying these videos, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing. It would mean a lot to me, since I put months of work into this video series, and your support is greatly appreciated.